What up, world? R.I.C.H coming right back at you. Rick Ross is trying to talk around these album sales, but the problem is not just a number. The problem is he spent too much time laughing at other people's numbers before his own numbers came back low.
Meet me at Sweat Records today. We taking photos, we signing autographs, and we celebrating. Set in Stone is out now. We've delivered an amazing album. We've won, and we giving it to you pure. It's the best dope. We bagged it up. Now we sell it. Now we run the long game. We ain't buying the bots. We ain't buying the numbers to throw it out there and live off it. No, we get money 100 different ways. So we gonna run the long game, nigga. I'm shooting videos to all my songs. And for the artists that's icons, y'all should go back and shoot some of those videos on some of those songs y'all always loved but never had the budget to. Yeah, just renegotiate your part of the ownership and whatever you own of the music, if you own anything. I'm sure whoever owned your masters wouldn't mind you doing it. They may give you a budget to do a video from an album 20 years ago. I don't know, Set in Stone out now.
This is where Rick Ross made a mistake. It is not a crime for an older rapper to sell less records than he used to. That happens to almost every artist who stays in the game long enough. The audience gets older, the sound changes, the streaming world moves fast, and the new generation don't care about what you did 15 years ago. That part is normal. The problem is Ross put himself in a position where people were waiting to throw numbers right back in his face. When you mock other artists for sales, you better make sure your own house is fireproof, because the internet does not forget. Ross was talking crazy when Drake's numbers were being discussed.
When you've been waiting after you seen people put ice blocks in the middle of places and promoted and marketed, and the world knew what day it was coming out, and the shit came out and really, folded.
But have you personally listened to every single one of the tracks in the new album?
No, I couldn't do it. I mean, Pitchfork gave it, I said it was mid. Mid meant 5. Pitchfork gave it a 4 point something. I don't know. But it was like, no one's my friend. You left me alone. Oh my, it's that type of shit. You gotta be a boss out here, man.
So nothing that would be in your new playlist that you were showing?
Was it anything in my recent playlist?
I didn't hear all of them. I don't know if you got a, by which one did you stop? 5?
I'm not
did
sure.
you make it to 5 or 6?
I'm not sure. You gotta realize when it was going, it's music people that's on my team I allow them to be you could be a Drake fan if you like his music. I'm not gonna take, we not on that type of shit. Listen to it if you want to listen to it. And I had people that listened to it. By the 5th song they came out, they was like, damn, this shit whack. Because my album is gonna most definitely be a bomb. It's gonna be a bomb. I don't believe anyone's nervous about Ice, man.
Now, his album is projected to do under 26,000 in the first week. And under 26,000 in the first week makes people say, let's look at your own standard. If Ross had just put out an album and kept it music, people might have said the sales were low and just moved on. But once you become the sales police, the same badge can get used on you. That's the part he can't talk around.
They better, and when y'all review Ricky Ross album, hey man, that production and wordplay was too simple. The track listing, the Dion Cole, come on, the Leon Thomas record, the marathon continues. You know what it is. Gamma, what it do? Baby Breon, what it do? Evie, what's happening? E-Mix, what's good? Let's hold our bottles up. We did this the big way. I'm exercising and finna get in the pool, and I'm actually finna pull out a bottle of some Chip Luke Bel Air, not this one. I'm gonna drink me a white Lux Chip. So listen, don't y'all fall for no fake shit. Rick Ross ain't it, boy, biggest nigga in the motherfucking game. Cut it out. And still enjoying to do it and love to do it. I love the interviews. I love the vibes, love the DJs. That's what we do it for. We do it because we love the game. These old niggas scared to put albums out because if it flopped, that's all they ever had to lay on. Rose ain't got that issue, baby. I could just lean back like that. I could tell them, take one of those things off right there and just lean back. Guess what? We still got the hottest shit out. Don't fall for the fake Now, listen to the album right now.
The I already got paid line sounds good for business, but it does not answer the music question. Rick Ross being small with money don't mean his album connected. Those are two different conversations. He can be rich and still have a project that did not move the way people expected. He can own a business and still have a record that didn't shake the room. That is why this deflection don't work. When an artist says the streets love it, after the numbers come back low, that can start sounding like coping. The streets matter. The reactions matter. But in 2026, if the streets are really going crazy, somebody is streaming it, posting it, quoting it, arguing about it, and making the record feel alive. You can't say the streets are on fire while the numbers look like the smoke never made it outside. That is where Ross sounds like he's trying to project the boss image instead of just being honest about the moment. And that brings me to the bigger issue with Rick Ross. He sounds like he's stuck in character. Everything is the biggest boss. Everything is luxury talk. Everything is money, cigars, mansions, and laughing like nothing can touch him. That worked when the music was moving like the image. But when the numbers are low, that same character starts looking like a shield. It reminds me of DJ Khaled, but in a different way. At some point, the persona gets so big that you don't even know when the real person is talking anymore. And when everything feels like a performance, even your defense starts sounding like a commercial. That is what's happening with Rick Ross right now. He is trying to boss talk his way out of a music conversation. But the public ain't just looking at your watches. They are looking at whether people still care about your music in the same way.
So now I got a question. What was my first week numbers for Set in Stone? Exactly. You don't know. What was my first week numbers for Renaissance of a Boss? What was my first week?
I want to be fair to Ross. Any rapper from his generation will have a hard time selling records in this climate. That's not just a Rick Ross problem. If 50 Cent dropped a new album right now, it would not do anything close to what he did on Get Rich or Die Trying. That does not erase 50's legacy. It just means the moment is different. The early 2000s were a different world. People bought CDs. Radio still controlled a lot of the momentum. MTV and BET could make a record feel like an event. Now, music drops every Friday. The attention span is short, and even legends have to fight to get people to care for more than just one day. That's why I can't just clown Ross for being older and selling less. But I will clown the hypocrisy, because he should have known better than to talk like sales defines somebody's value. When you're a veteran artist, you should understand how the game changes. You should understand that commercial peaks don't last forever. You should understand that a rap career has seasons. Ross acted like other people's low moments were proof that they were finished. Now people are using his low moments to say the same thing about him. And this is why the tide feels like it has turned on Ross. People are not just reacting to one album. They are reacting to years of Ross talking like the character could never take a loss. Now people are asking if the boss talk still matches reality. That question is fair.
I got a DM say, Rose, how you feel about what 50 said? I said, what did 50 say? Excuse me, before you mention what 50 said, let me ask how's it going over there in Shreveport? How's it going in Shreveport? You borrowed all them people money. Did you return their money back? And because Shreveport ain't gave the loans you was looking for. Because they smart. LA don't need a fucking film studio. Hollywood don't need it. Why would you need a film studio? You're stealing the people money. Get them people back their money, Curtis. Now, back to the album of the year. Set in Stone. Did y'all hear that? Do it one time for the 305. That video finna be so motherfucking big. I spoke to Nick Quested. Nick Quested, great speaking to you. Great ideas. But I'm shooting videos to everything on the album. Luke Belair toast to everybody who got the album. If you don't, it's not too late. Don't let the smoke screens fool you.
50 Cent jumping in was always gonna make this bigger. That's what 50 does. He sees a weak spot and then he turns it into a joke before you can control the narrative. And Ross made it easy because the numbers were already the story. But here's the truth. 50 can laugh all he wants, but he knows this era would not treat him like 2003 either. That's why the real lesson is not that Ross is finished. The real lesson is that every artist has to learn how to age out without feeling humiliated. You can still be rich, you can still be important, and you can still have classics. But you cannot pretend the current audience is gonna move the same way the old one did. Ross would look better if he just owned it. Say the game changed. Say the album is for your core fans. Say you ain't chasing the same metrics that you did in 2010. That would sound more honest than trying to make 26,000 sound like some master plan. Because once you start explaining too much, people can hear the defense in your voice. That's what makes this feel like coping. Ross is trying to turn a sales conversation into a wealth conversation. But the question was never whether Rick Ross had money. The question was whether the music still has the same weight. Right now, the answer looks like no. And that don't mean his whole career is trash. It means this album didn't hit like a Rick Ross album used to hit. That's the real conversation. The hardest part is that Ross's image don't leave room for humility. When your whole image is big boss, it gets hard to say this one didn't land. But that is what growth looks like for an older artist. You have to get out of character long enough to tell the truth, because the character can sell a moment. But the truth is what makes people respect you when the moment passes. And that is where Ross needs to be careful. If he keeps trying to laugh off every valid criticism, people are going to stop seeing confidence and start seeing delusion. That is a bad place for any artist to be. So I'm going to take y'all out like this. Rick Ross selling less records in 2026 is not shocking. Most rappers from his era would sell less right now. The problem is that Ross spent too much time mocking other people's numbers, so now people are enjoying the chance to mock his. He can say he already got paid. He can say the streets love it. He can say the charts don't even matter to him. But none of that changes the fact that this album's performance looks disappointing for somebody with his name. Business success does not erase a music miss. And boss talk don't make a low number look bigger. The best thing Ross can do right now is step out of character and be real about where he is in his career. He is a legend from another era that is trying to compete in a streaming world that does not care about old status the way old fans do. That's not failure. That's reality. But when you mock other people for their reality, you better be ready when your own reality gets read out loud. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe. Established Rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.